So you want to know how to double your business income in 30 days. I'm going to break this down all the way for you guys. Now, I said 30 days because I just did some numbers with some of our clients, our done for you clients that we work with to reach a certain profit goal. And I just went over all the numbers. It's a brand new month. We're going to a brand new quarter, and we needed to know the numbers of the business. You guys are going to hear me talk a lot about that because I'm understanding the importance of teaching you guys knowing about the numbers and actually running KPIs and doing all the things. And I'm going to be doing another series training on that specifically. So that way we're all educated on how to properly run and manage our businesses. Okay. So, how to double the income. I know you're probably curious, right? Now, I'm using one case study of a client that we have. Okay. This client, you guys, he initially started off with Thumbtack as his lead generation platform. Okay. Thumbtack in the beginning was not doing so well. It took him a minute to maybe get used and adequate enough to the platform and the response time and doing all the things and closing those leads and following up. Right? And getting used to that. So I remember his first month, I look at the numbers, it roughly did about 1,100. Okay. When he was struggling with the Thumbtack, he was getting frustrated of how many leads were actually closing. So with him getting frustrated, he decided to stop Thumbtack. He was like, you know what? Bump it. I'm done. Let me figure out something else. In the meantime, while he was not using Thumbtack, he went ahead and got his Google approved and set up. Okay. With that being said, once the Google got set up, of course, what's next is Google LSA, right? For those that don't know, it stands for local service ads. Okay. And that is a similar pay fee structure as Thumbtack, where you're paying a one-time set fee per lead. Which is the same thing with Thumbtack. You're paying a one set fee per lead. But the difference is with Google LSA is you're when that one lead contacts you, they're not also contacting multiple other people. Now, of course, there's really no full guarantee way to say that, but I know that most Google leads they call. Okay. So if somebody contacts you by phone, then you know that obviously they're not talking to somebody else, but they possibly could have reached out to somebody prior to you and they just didn't respond and now they're contacting you. Okay. Same thing for the message. All right. But with Thumbtack, when that lead comes in, unless it's a direct lead and that person only chose you, then that lead is also being sent out to multiple people at a same time. Right. Now, the thing about it is because this customer has his location in a primarily high demand area, the lead costs are fairly high than normal, or I want to say normal, higher than some other areas that's maybe not as high demand. So what he quickly found out is that with the Google LSA, that those leads were actually costing a little bit more than Thumbtack, right? And I thought this was very interesting to share because his level of perspective, brand new to the industry, brand new to the business, he's getting the Thumbtack leads. It's like, yo, what's going on? Like these Thumbtack leads are crazy expensive. Like this is crazy. I'm cutting it. Okay. And then come to find out with Google that the leads are a little bit costly. And some of the same challenges he was having, as in, people responding to the leads and closing the leads and things like that were kind of the same. Okay. Now, both of them will have to be learned, both of them will have to be mastered, and we both have to understand that you're not going to close every lead, and that's okay, right? A good close rate is anywhere between 20 to 30%. Now, if you a GG up in these sales streets, okay, maybe you can do 40, depending on your prices and how you position your company. But a good close rate is 20 to 30 leads. That means out of 10 leads that come in, you're going to close 3. Right? That's a good perspective change. So that way you can understand you won't be so hard on yourself when you have 10 leads and you only close 3. That's a good day, right? If you close 3 leads and 3 leads average out to be $300 per lead, that's $900. That's $300 if you pay your cleaning 50%. That's $300 that you made without having to do any of the things. If you spent $20 on each lead, now that's $240 that you made in your office. That's a good day. $240, right? With my 10K formula, I just did a video. I'm going to tag that video in this video. I just did a formula where I shared our 10K formula. Our 10K formula is basically making $250 per cleaner, a total of $500 per day, right? $500 per day will get you $2,500 per week times 4 weeks. That'll get you $10,000 a month. Okay. I know I'm like shifting from my focus of my main question. I'm gonna circle back around and land this bad boy. Okay. But I just wanted you guys to have a perspective change because so many people are complaining about the fees of leads. They're not looking at the full what is it called? The long-term value of that lead, the LTV, long-term value of that lead. Because if you get a lead that costs that costs you $20 to $30 for that lead, maybe $40, right? Are you going to be upset if that lead becomes a biweekly client and they're paying you $500 a month and they're paying you $6,000 a year? No, you're not. You got your money's worth, right? Now, what we really are upset about is that we haven't decided enough time to learn the skill set of closing those leads and following up practices, so that way we can be able to close that lead. That's what we really need to be working on, our skill set. Okay. And the thing about it is, unfortunately, you're not gonna get, unless you come from a sales background, or you have the gift for gab, or you're not afraid or shy of talking to people, you're not going to really get good at it until you do it, right? A lot of times people want to be a thing without doing a thing, and you can't be nothing without doing nothing first. Point blank, period. Okay. So, with that being said, you guys, keep that in mind when you're looking at your lead cost. So, now let's go back to our case study. Okay. So, we turned on Google Ads. I'm sorry, Google LSA. He's getting a couple leads in, and we meet on a bi-weekly basis. At the time, we're meeting on a weekly basis, brand new. And I'm like, hey, we're going into March. I strongly suggest you turn your Thumbtack back on, right? Now, what you're able to see with the leads, like, let's turn it back on. Okay. So they turn the Thumbtack back on immediately in the month of March. They double their income from the first month they had. And now they're at $2,000. He didn't increase his budget, right? He just now he has access to more lead generation. He has more flows, right? Think of a funnel. Okay. Like, the funnel is, you put the money, your large budget in your funnels, and you're trying to just funneling clients to yours. The more access to lead generation platforms, the wider your funnel is, right? If you just have one, you only have that many people that's going to be able to make it down the pipe. If you add on another one and another one, then you're strengthening that. Now, what we also did was we did some more research to determine other high demand markets in the area. And we're like, we spotted one. We're like, they predict that this area is going to bring in roughly anywhere to 217 leads per month per this area. Let's maybe tap into that, right? All you need to do is bring on 3 more cleaners, and now you have access to another area. What do you guys think that other area is going to do? It's going to bring in more business. It's going to be able to double the income that they're bringing. So I can't wait. I'm going to have to do this into like a 2-part series and come back and tell you guys what the increase of the profits was for the month of April with him adding on that second location. And it's not like a second location like super, super far like other state. It's literally just like within like a 2-hour distance. But of course, you can't have your cleaners dry that distance. So you would want to hire separately there. It's within the same state, so you don't have to do anything different from like your LLCs. If you just have a DBA and you're within that county, you may have to get something else for that county, but your LLC will cover that whole state. So it's just a matter of just finding some cleaners and just bringing some new cleaners on. Okay, you guys, don't overthink this. When you want to increase your business, you either need to add more budget to your marketing, okay? Or you need to put in some more elbow grease and do some cold calling, cold emailing, networking, building out relationships with individuals of companies that also need your services, property managers, real estate agents, all those things. Okay, you guys, don't overthink this. Don't reinvent the wheel. If you don't have the budget, do those activities that I just mentioned. If you do have the budget, find out to see which lane is bringing in most leads and put your money into those. If you don't know, A/B test both of them out against each other and see which ones you get a better close rate with, a better lead volume with. And then you'll have an idea of like which is which, right? And test some things out. I recently said this year in a lot of videos that, last year was a crazy year for us and our clients, and we kind of test and tried everything. We threw everything at the wall and we saw what stick. We tested out some Google SEO that we have some clients starting and they're doing amazing. They're starting to rank. Right now, we just brought on a Facebook ad guy and we're testing out that right now. Like, is literally the first day of testing out Facebook ads for local service-based industry for cleaning companies, right? And we're going to test out 2 different settings to see which one is going to bring in more revenue. Are we going to do just a gathering a brand awareness and a gathering of clients' contact information so we can follow up? Or are we doing direct, where like we give them a coupon code, some copy, some images, and we send them directly to the booking page? So, right. So we got to test out to see which one is going to convert more. Next month, we're going to be testing out actual Google AdSense, because Google AdSense and Facebook ads is similar in the ad building, as in like targeting, knowing how to target your audience, right? By their likes and things that they're searching and keywords and all the things, right? So these are even things that we're doing on our back end. So clearly, if we're having to do this, you got to do it too. Okay, you guys, this business has no respect to person. I'm not the success. The system is. And we have to just figure out what systems we're trying, what new systems we're trying. Everything's constantly evolving. Everything's constantly changing, right? Thumbtack is not what it used to be. Google's not what it used to be. People be like, oh my God, Google sucks right now. And some people will say that it doesn't, right? You have to test it out for yourself in your market to see what works best. I remember I had a really good friend in the cleaning industry, and he was killing it on Yelp, and I couldn't. But I'm killing it on Thumbtack. And he's like, I can't tap in. I'm like, I can't tap in. You know what? Hey, we draw. Okay. it just wasn't crossing over. Right. But you have to test it out to see which one is going to work best. All right, you guys. So I gave you guys a case study, real life case study, to show you. Right. But now want you guys do your own case study in your own business. Okay. I hope this helps. If you guys have any other questions, you guys join us on our next master workshop. The link is going to be in the description, you guys. We just did a new one. This is the first week we're announcing it. So I'm super, super excited about it. And I hope to see you guys there. And if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. And then maybe you'll see that I'm answering your question live on YouTube. All right. Until then, see y'all later.